people who start their careers as infantry soldiers crawling around in the mud don't typically
end up like this.
Yeah, and that's fair. I get that. I think a number of things. One, I was born poor, welfare family, single parent family. You know, secondhand clothing, all that sort of stuff. That's why I enjoy tailor-made clothing, because it's different to the secondhand clothing with that secondhand clothing smell that I grew up with. You know, the clothes for me are a symbol of that poor kid manifesting something better. It's a lot more than clothes. It's symbolic of the progress involved. So that deep hunger, and I don't know how to find that. I mean, if I was born with money, maybe I wouldn't have that hunger. But from a very early age, I was angry at my situation and I knew I could do better. And that's something I think Tate, inspires in people. Young men who want to do better, get angry. It's okay to be angry. Get to the gym, get boxing, get that hunger to every day do the right thing. When you turn on, the garden hose and it sort of flaps around, it shouldn't be like that. Your anger should be a laser point that is sustainable. It's a slow burn fire that guides you every day. So get in touch with that anger and that positive anger, that positive intensity to make your life better. Like these young guys who want to have a better life, but they have time for TV or they have time for video games. I'm 40 years old. Alhamdulillah, I'm financially independent. I have accolades, status, whatever. I don't have time for video games. I don't have time for TV. I haven't sat down and watched a full episode of TV for as long as I can remember. If you're some young guy who wants to change your life, you don't have time for these things even more than me. What are you doing? I'd have to say number 2 is the Wright Brothers around you. So key. So key. And again, when the Tates came into my life, I had a job and I had, a few side hustles. Very quickly, based on their level of output, I picked up my level of output, and then I had a whole bunch of side hustles and a whole bunch of businesses. So you realize what is possible in terms of your output as a human when you have other high-performing men around you. So that's absolutely key. How to find those men? For me, the War Room was hugely useful. Now, I speak openly about Tate's organisation, the War Room, because for me, that is the single most powerful and efficient way to find high-frequency men who are specialists in their field, who have the same belief systems as you, who are pushing every day to better their realities in the War Room. And I help build it. I mentor a lot of guys inside. I put hours every day into, voice notes back and forth with the guys inside. I do what I can to contribute. That's my brotherhood. That's my tribe. I contribute as much as I can. If you try and find brothers manually by meeting people, you'd have to meet 10,000 guys to find a few reliable brothers. The War Room's done that for you. It's been that filter of quality men who are already in the War Room, especially the guys who prove themselves in the War Room. They are the top men that you will have in your city or in your country. Or, it's powerful. I went to Bangkok recently. There were 30 or 40 War Room guys there, all of them hustling, all of them training, all of them with positive relationships in their lives, and all of them pushing for more every day. You get that many high quality men together, working at maximum frequency to better their lives, and the energy in the room is something different. The power in the War Room is real. And to your point about success, once you've got your money right, once you've got your fitness right, there are other levels to it. A big part of that is brotherhood, is meaningful work, is having a day-to-day reality where every single component part of your daily reality is exactly how you want it. I refer to it as a custom-made reality. Now, if you're working on that, we talk about quality problems. We talk about customized, clothes and cars and all this fun adventures with the boys. I know a lot of rich people who don't have time to go on adventures with the boys. Everyone in the War Room is doing these things together. Man, it's so powerful. And a lot of people, once they join the War Room, they say, you know what, I was lonely before this. I had 1 or 2 mates who I caught up with occasionally. Now I have dozens, if not hundreds of men around the world. I can travel to any city and I find a guy who I can connect with. He's got his contacts there. He's got that local knowledge. If I want to set up a business, or if I want to buy property, if I want a good lawyer to help me, structure my finances properly, it's all there. You need the right brothers around you. The third, I think, Islam is one of the most powerful ways to really supercharge your discipline as a man. And let's face it, in today's day and age, especially for young men, there's a lot of distraction. You can access endless pornography on your phone. People can access drugs, the hookup culture. You could have endless, meaningless intimacy with a new woman every day if you wanted to. What's going to stop young men, especially when the culture's saying, hey, go do it. Go take drugs. Go chase your hedonistic pursuits. What is going to keep young men disciplined in a more powerful way than Islam, which says, Akhirah, day of judgment, every action you take will be judged. You are accountable. There is a very clear code. A lot of people don't realize who haven't studied or practiced Islam. It's more than what people perceive a religion to be. It is a disciplined way of life. It's a perspective with which to view your daily life, and it's also a way to carry out your daily interactions with people, your daily routines. So for me, any young man who is really serious about being the best version of himself and living a very disciplined life and attaining success well above the material, attaining that fulfillment where you're living a good, meaningful life, living on the straight path. I think Islam has a very, very important role to play in building that ultimate custom-made reality. So they're the 3 points to answer your question.
That's really good to hear, man.